your choices so you can learn and learn. Today, we are going to be talking about text features. Have you guys heard that word before? No? Okay, well, we're going to be looking at text features and what they are, how we use them, and why they're important. Okay? You just went faster, right? Okay. Do you have a question? Alright guys, so we are going to be going over text features. So a text feature is a part of the story that gives us extra information. Okay? So we're going to use our Alright. So we're going to be reading Move It. You guys have read that story, right?
We know what Move It is.
So, since you guys have already read it, what do you guys think we're going to be looking for in the story Move It? Yeah. Illustrations? Okay, so is an illustration maybe a text feature, you think? Right. And why is that? Because lots of kids do different things. Right. And an illustration helps give us extra information, right? You look at the picture too, right? And helps you with the word. All right. So you guys have read this book, right? No, you haven't read this book. Oh, okay. All right, so we are going to take our book walk really quickly, and I want you guys to look for different text features, okay? So text features are extra things in the book that are going to give us more information about the text. Yes, Hunter? You did read this? Okay, then we're going to read it again. All right, are you ready? Okay. All right, class. Are we ready? All right, we're going to read it out loud. Can you all read the title together? So I can run. Let's read it together. Ready? I can run. I have strong legs. They help me go faster. We are reading it all together. There shouldn't be anybody else talking unless we're reading the words together. Thank you. So can anybody point out what they think a text feature could be on this page? Kaden, thank you for raising your hand. The yellow highlighted word. Right, so this is a bolded word. So this is a text feature. Does anybody know what a bolded word tells us? Drew? Right, so bolded word is going to show us, it's going to be a term that's important, a term that we need to know. It's going to be a really important word. Is there anything else on this page that you think could tell us that could be a text feature? James? The green thing, right. So this tells us that these are her legs. So this right here, this is going to be a label, and it tells us that these are her legs. So how might that help give us more information about the text? Hunter, thank you for raising your hand. Can you say that again? It can help her go faster, right? Her legs are what's going to help her run, which was one of the bolded words. Good. Yeah. Okay. You're okay. All right, let's read the next page. Ready? I can jump. I pick up my feet. I land on the grass. So can somebody raise their hand and tell me a text feature? Ariel. The label, right? And what is the label telling us? Where her feet are. Good. So, what is the L? Look and listen to the speaker, right? There should only be one person talking. I'm hearing a lot of talking right now. All right, Kinley, can you tell me another text feature? That he can jump, right? So, how do we know that that's a text feature?
Because it's something that's on the page, like it's in the picture.
Right, it is in the picture. Is there any text feature on this page that shows us that might be important?
Yeah.
Which one?
This one.
You can point to it. Right, this one shows us her feet are jumping. Can anyone tell me what this one is right here? Drew. Kinley, you can take a seat.
This one shows you that it's jumping. He's jumping, and then and because when it tells you when it's jumping, it's highlighted because it's one of the words that they need to know.
Right, it's bolded and highlighted because it's an important word you need to know. Good. All right, let's read the next page. Let's read it all together. Ready? I can grab the ball. All right, can anybody raise their hand and tell me which text features are here? Mary. Or sorry, Emma. Can you tell me some text features that are in this on this page? What is this one right here? Two. Okay, so why is this a text feature? Is there anything special about this word right here? What is it? Is it a different color, or is it maybe a little bit bolder than the other words?
Yes.
It's bolder, and what does a bolded word tell us?
It tells us that
It's highlighted, right? So a bolded word is going to tell us that it's really important. It's a word that we need to know. All right, can anybody tell me if there's another text feature on this page?
Yeah.
Zachary.
The label.
It's a label. Good, right. What does the label tell us? Shows us where the hands are. Good. Very good. Okay. All right. And this is going to be the last page that we're going to read, okay? So let's read it all together.
I can swim. I paddle with my arms. I kick with my feet.
So, do we see any text features on this page? Felicity. The feet, right? Which text feature is that? Do you know what it's called? Starts with an L. Do you remember? Label. Good. So what does a label tell us? It tells us about what it's pointing to, right? It tells us tells more about the picture.
And what it is.
Right, it tells us what it is. Do you see another label on this page? Cheyenne?
These are arms so people can do this. And because Daddy can do this because he don't even drown.
Nope. Right. So does this label tell us more about the words?
Yeah. And you see his like
Our arms, right?
yeah, and you see the bubble because he's breathing.
Right.
Yeah.
All right, you guys.
Maybe try another piece.
So I really like how some of my friends are raising their hand and not speaking when other people are speaking. That's really nice. We should all practice that, okay? We're only going to speak when we're called on, not when someone else is talking. Thank you. Okay.
Big four.
Features. Okay. So we are going to go over one more book, and then as we go over some, we can define them. But there's a couple on here that we've already gone over, so we are going to write down the definitions of those. So does anybody see any on here that we've already talked about?
Definition.
Yes. So we have table of contents, glossary, menu, heading, bold-faced words, caption, label, and diagram. Label, right? Can you tell me what a label is or what it does? Jameson, did I call on you?
It helps you point what you have to write about.
Right. So it points to something you need to know about. Okay. So we can say a label tells us what an object is. Good. Can you guys tell me the other text feature that we talked about, Kaden? Bold-faced words? Good. And what are bold-faced words, or why are they important? What do they tell us?
It tells us more about the picture and the label.
Good. So they tell us more. Do they tell us that a word, does it indicate that a word is maybe important?
Yes.
Or it's a word that we need to know?
They highlighted because you need to know if the word is important or not.
Right. So maybe could we say it shows us that the word is important?
Yes.
So bold-faced words show us that the word is important. Okay. Are we ready to read? Thank you. Periods are important. And why do we put a period there?
Because that's the end of the sentence.
End of a sentence. Good. Yes.
What if we try to centers?
Right now we're doing a whole group lesson. All right. So okay. So we are going to read another book, okay? So I'm going to read it out loud, and I want you guys to look for different text features, okay? Are you ready? Every family has a special bond, both at home and beyond. So is there anything on this page that is a text feature? CJ. So we're not going to look So these are the words. Is there anything that helps us with the words on this page? Emma? The picture, right. So the picture can help us with the words. Okay. Animal families. In the animal world, parents look after their babies. They want to make sure the babies are strong and ready to survive in the wild.
That's what baby squirrels look like?
Right, so these are zebras and these are squirrels. So, if I see this right here, what do you think that this tells me?
About animals?
Zachary.
About animal families.
It tells us that it's about animal families. Right, does anybody know what this is called? Kaden.
Diagram?
Not quite. So diagram is one of our options. So this, does anybody else know what this one is called? Yes, Ariel?
Heading.
A heading. Awesome job. So this is a heading. And what did we say that a heading tells us?
More about
Right, it's going to tell us what we're going to be reading about. Awesome job. So the heading tells us what we are learning. The heading is going to tell you what the text is going to be about below it. Do you have a question, Katie?
No, I'm just going to tell you something. In this Groovers class, we learned about a panda thing where they live and play. And some pandas, they stay at the panda school, and some go in the wild.
Okay, very cool. Okay, so it says animal parents keep their babies safe. They teach them to find food. With strong babies, the species is able to survive. So are there any other text features that help you understand these words? True. The label, awesome. So it tells us what that animal is, right? So that's what we put. It tells us what an object is. So it tells us that this is a squirrel. So what does this one tell us? That it's a zebra, right? So these labels as well as the heading help us figure out what the text is going to be about, right?
Yeah.
Okay, let's go to the next page. All right, harp seal. A harp seal pup plays on the Arctic ice. Then crack, a predator breaks through the ice. The mother harp seal sniffs the air to find her pup. Harp seal mothers know their babies by their smell. The mothers keep their babies safe. So, does anybody see any text features on this page? Jameson.
The label.
The label. Where's the label? Can you point to it? Right, so this is labeling, and what does this label say?
Harp seal.
Harp seals. Good. So that is going to tell us what an object is. Awesome. So, yes, Drew? The heading, right, so that's a heading, right? It tells us that this whole text is going to be about harp seals. Good. Does anybody know what this is? Cheyenne? A map, right. So how can a map help us with this text?
It tells you,
You can sit down. Thank you.
it tells you in New York any place you want to go.
Right, so it tells you where something is. So what is this? Can you guys see this label right here? It says where they live. So what is this map telling us? I'm sorry, Ariel. Right, so it tells us where who lives. The harp seals, right. So why would a map be a text feature? Right, so you know where you can find the animals. Good. Good job. Right, and so this little magnifying glass says harp seals spend most of their time on the ice or in the water. They can stay underwater for up to 15 minutes.
What?
I know, it's a long time.
That's what a guy.
So, does this tell us more about the text?
Yeah.
Right. This little magnifying glass, because that's an extra fact. So that could be a text feature, right? Right. So, can somebody tell me why text features are important? Lizzie.
So you can send the animals and keep them safe.
Okay, so why are text features, how do text features help us when we're reading a book?
You can look at the pictures.
Can look at the pictures. What do the text features tell us, Kaden?
The text features can tell us where the arc seals live, the arc seals, how they survive, and how they keep a track of their babies.
Right, so they can tell us more details about what we're reading about, right?
Yeah, that's what it's trying to say.
Yeah, good. You did great. Okay, let's do this one. So, cheetah. Snatch. The mother cheetah snatches a baby gazelle and brings it back to her cubs. They practice taking down the animal. So, what text features do we see on this page? That right. I'm sorry?
I forgot what you said.
What text features are on this page? Bold-faced words on this page. What about this one? What is this called? CJ, do you know? Headings. Good. Okay, and then what is this right here?
Africa.
That is Africa, but what is this called right here? Map. Good. It shows us where they live. Okay, so what does this heading say? Does anybody know? Drew? Photo glossary. Does anybody know what a glossary is?
Yes, no.
Kate.
Okay, I think glossary is telling some other animals and showing you pictures of other animals and showing you where they live and the other
Right.
animals that I put into the story.
So a glossary is going to tell us a word, and then it's going to tell us the definition for that word. And sometimes it even gives us a picture. So for this one, it says herd, a big group of animals that lives together, and then it shows us a picture with a herd of elephants. So this is a really important text feature, because if you don't know what a word means, you can go to the glossary and you can find that word, and then it'll have the definition right there for you. So it's a really helpful text feature. So let's define this one. Can somebody tell me what they think the definition of glossary would be? Not quite. So a glossary is right up here. What did we say that we thought it was? Cheyenne?
Okay, let's be sure. It's like an elephant.
So all together, you can sit down. You can sit down. You can sit down. Okay. So a glossary, we're going to define it. Tells us a word and its definition.
What's glossary? Glossary?
Yes.
Glossary?
And the definition. So all together, let's say what the definition of glossary is. Ready? glossary tells us a word and the definition. Good. So why would it be important to have a glossary at the back of a book? What does the glossary tell us? It tells us, yeah, it can tell us about certain animals and what they are, right? So it helps us learn more about the text. It can help us find things in the text. All right, let's go to the next page. All right, so this right here is an index. So an index has a term, and then it tells us the page number where you can find it. That's kind of like the table of contents. So the table of contents tells us what's in the book and where to find it. And where to find it. Good. So all together, let's read the definition for table of contents. The table of contents tells us what is in the book and where to find it. So for example, if I'm looking for chapter 8 in the book, I can go to the table of contents and it'll tell me what page to go to. So you don't have to spend all your time flipping through a book. It'll just tell you where to go. Yes, kids.
I just noticed that almost everyone starts with tells them.
Right, because what do the text features do? They tell us about the things in the story, right? They're going to help us find more information.
Yeah, but this is good from show.
Shows us, tells us, right? That was a great observation. Okay, so we have 3 more. Does anybody know what a menu is? Mary, do you know what a menu is?
It's just things that they have at a restaurant and you order the food.
Right, so they do have at restaurants. So menus are a big list of items that you can choose from.
Like a table of contents.
Kind of, right? So a table of contents has different things that you can look at, and you can choose where you want to go. Yeah. So a menu is a list of items you can choose from. Good. Okay. Please have 2 more. So I'm going to draw something on our board. Okay. So if I drew a flower and I wrote underneath the flower grew tall. So what do we think this is? Do we think it could be a caption or a diagram?
A diagram?
CJ. Not quite. So this part right here, this is a caption. So it tells us about the picture I drew, right?
Yeah.
Okay, good. So a caption tells us about a picture. Okay, so let's read this one all together. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Caption tells us about a picture. Good. So this right here, it says the flower grew tall. This is telling me about my picture. Okay. one more left diagram. So I am going to,
with smoke.
sorry, this is not the Okay, sidewalk. So, who can tell me what they think a diagram is? Jason. A heading? Well, not quite. So, a diagram is going to be a whole different thing than a heading. So, can anybody else tell me, Ariel, what do you think a diagram is?
I think it's something where
Right, so it tells us the different parts of the picture so we know what they are. So say someone didn't know where the house was, then you could tell them the different parts that make up a house. Drew, do you have something to add? Tells you more about the picture, right? It's going to tell you more about the picture and the different parts of the picture. Okay, so we're going to write tells us more about parts of a picture or drawing. Okay. So we are going to play a little review game to go over what we just learned. If it'll load. Okay, so what we're going to do is you're going to pick, but I want us to do it, see if we can do it without moving it. If we need some help, we'll turn it back over. Do it. So what we're going to do is we're going to pick one of the terms, and I know these are kind of small, so I'll read them off for you, and we're going to see if we can match it, okay? All right, can somebody raise their hand and tell me which term they'd like to do first? CJ. We have glossary, heading, label, menu, or table of contents. Label. Okay. Do you think you can tell me what it is without looking at our options, or do you want to read out the options? Do you know what a label is? What is it? But it tells us the name. Okay, so let's read out our options. Tells us what something is. Tells us what we're going to read about. It's a list of items that you can pick from. It's a list that tells us where something is in the story, like what page it's on, or a list of words and definitions. Any of those sound great? Alright, so let's go one by one. It tells us what something is. Is that what you think a label does? Yeah, do you want to try it? Okay. So it tells us what something is. Right. Got it right. So label tells us what something is.
No, we don't.
And we'll try again. Okay, can someone else raise their hands and tell me which one they would like to try. Drew. The glossary. Okay, without looking, do you know what a glossary is? No. Oh, you do? You need to look at if you need me to read the choices, it's okay. Go one by one. Tell me if you think this is what it is. A glossary. Do you think it tells us what we're going to read about? No. Good. Okay. What about a list of words in a book with definitions or examples? Yeah, you want to try that one? Okay. So what did we say a glossary was? A list of words with definitions. Okay. And the next one that we want to try. Hunter.
I will read the last one.
The last one. Table of contents?
Content for the night.
Okay, so I know Hunter, you weren't here when we went over this. Can you phone a friend to help you out figure what the table of contents is? Okay.
The table of contents tells you a list the story.
Tells you a list. What does the list tell us? Exactly.
It tells us where you can find things.
Good. It tells us where you can find things. Awesome.
Come on, Dad.
So a list and tells us where you can find it. Ready? Good. That was awesome. That one without the options. That was great. All right. So we have 2 left. Which one do you think we should do? Yeah. Which one? This one? This one? Okay. So what is a menu? I can. All right. So we have either a list of items to choose from, or tell us what we're going to read about. List of items to choose from. So, since we only have one option left, what does this say? Can we read it? What does the heading tell us? What we're going to learn about. So it tells us what we are going to read about. Good. So we save the day. Okay, so I have 3 questions that we're going to go over, and then we're going to go to centers. So why does the author put a heading on the sections? How does it help you? Talk to your shoulder partner quickly about this question. Yes. Why does the author put a heading on the sections? How does it help you? Mary, do you want to join this? Leland and Mary, why don't you two work together? Jacob and scissors. Hunter, you guys can group it over. So you're going to be talking about why does the author put a heading on the sections? How does it help you? Leland, talk to Mary. Turn around and talk to Mary. Turn around and talk to Mary. She's your shoulder partner. All right, who can raise their hand and tell me why they think the author puts a heading on this section? Drew. Wait 1 second. Is Drew talking?
Yeah.
So should you guys be talking? No. All right, Drew, go ahead.
Well, this is what my partner said. To make us tell us more, it tells us more, and it helps you understand the story.
Right, so the heading tells us more about what we're going to read, right? So it helps us figure out maybe what the text is going to be about. Okay. All right, so this one we're going to go back to the glossary. So we're looking for the word heard. So this is heard right here. Can anybody tell me what the glossary tells me? Okay. Yes. Ariel. So what does the glossary tell us? So the glossary is going to tell us the definition. So like if I picked the word herd, it's going to tell me what a herd is. So like a herd is a big group of animals that lives together. So the glossary is going to help me figure out what the word herd means. Okay, so how do the images or diagrams help you understand the words? Talk about that with your shoulder partner. You can turn around and work with Emma. How do the images and diagrams help you understand the words? Right, class. So how do the images and diagrams help us understand the word? Okay. Can anybody else tell me what they talked about? Felicity, can you tell me what you and your partner talked about? Did you guys talk about the question? Okay. All right, Drew, what did you and your partner talk about? So the pictures, there might be a label with a picture, and the picture tells us more about what the words are saying, right? So the pictures help us figure out more about the text. Good. All right, you guys. Yes, but not the same centers. We are going to be doing different centers. So if you're going to be at the teacher table or a table with me, we're going to be looking at a book about volcanoes and earthquakes. And if you're coming to me, I need you to grab a whiteboard and bring your marker and eraser. And then the other stations are I station, read to self, and read to a partner. Okay? They're not. The volcano? Okay. So let's set into centers and then sit for you, and then raise some of them so they will come across the back. They were actually not. Okay, but we can. Okay, eyes on me. Do you want to do this now? Sure. Okay, so if you are had word work, then you're going to go to your seat. So that's going to be Mary, Zach, Hunter, and Drew. If you're at I Station, it's going to be Emma, Zoe, Jameson, and Ariel. If you're at Sophie South, there's Kinley, Jacob, and Kaden, and then the partner is Felicity. That is not what is expected. That is not what is expected in centers. You guys know better than that. It is a level 1 voice. If you're at the computers, it's a level 0. If you're doing read to self, you need to have the book out reading now. If you're doing read to someone, you are using Leland, who's the speaker. If you're doing read to someone, you are doing a level 1 voice reading now. Everyone else knows what they're doing. Get started right away. Work the whole time. Go. Look at them and match them. And I left the words up there, okay? Help you out there on your first. Get your